Manchester City has a stupid amount of depth. It's no secret that this is their true superpower. What other team, not only in the Premier League, but in the entire world, can lose players like Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne for large parts of the season and still be in contention for just about everything come April? I'll wait. And while they've been able to dip into their superstar roster to fill in the gaps, no player has stepped up more than Phil Foden, in my opinion. At the same time, even though his progression shouldn't surprise anyone, there are people that have long been doubtful of Foden. People who still believe that he's overrated. And I gotta admit, in my eyes, much of the doubt is through no fault of his own. We'll talk about why. Fast forward to April and a handful of games left, I ask you this question. Is Phil Foden the best player in the Premier League? Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. I'm Tinashe, welcome back to the channel. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't, but if not, no stress, I'm just happy you're here. I want to get this out the way early and off the bat so you all know where I stand. Rodri is Man City's most important player. This is no longer a hipster opinion to have. There's a reason why he hasn't lost a league game with Manchester City for over a year now, and why that piece of information is always being shoved down our throats. What other defensive midfielder on the planet do we see in positions like this as often as we do for him, yet still doing all their duties better than anyone else in their role? But this is a Phil Foden video, and there's a reason for that. I think this season, based on form, you could really take your pick between him or Rodri for Man City, and realistically probably for the league. My personal pick, because of how he stepped up for Man City this season when they really needed him, is Phil Foden, and I don't think that's a controversial opinion at all. He's the only Man City player so far this season to play in every single Premier League match. Man City lost both Ilkay Gundogan and Riyad Mahrez over the last year and haven't replaced either of them. Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne have both been missing for large parts of the season. Jeremy Doku was injured for a part of the season, and Jack Grealish has been out of form really. The only constants in that attack over this year have been Phil Foden and Julian Alvarez, and I'd say Foden's been the most important of the two. Foden plays with so much flair that I was under the impression that he was born in Catalonia or Rosario or something like that, but no, to my surprise, Stockport. Born in Stockport in 2000, Phil Foden is Manchester through and through. He's known nothing but Manchester City since the age of 4 when he signed to the academy, which made me realize that he would have been about 12 when City won their first title. Then it made me think even further and realize that someone born in 2008 will be 16 right now and know nothing but Man City domination. The realization that I am now my one uncle that wouldn't stop talking about Liverpool and John Barnes when I was younger isn't one I enjoyed all too much while writing this. What's worse is that not only is Manchester City good, but Arsenal and Liverpool are both good again. And Chelsea just beat Man United in the 111th minute, which I wanted to make a video on, but I had planned to make this one, so I'm gonna power through it. It's my therapy. We're in the darkest timeline, we really are. As a youth player, Foden's first real taste of widespread media coverage came in 2017. He featured heavily at both the Under-17 UEFA European Championship and the Under-17 World Cup. But it was in the Under-17 World Cup where he truly shone. 2 goals in the final versus Spain and the Golden Ball. His natural position growing up is as an attacking creative midfielder, which definitely shows with how he moves the ball, how natural his first touch is, how his head is always looking up and he knows which spaces to move into. As you'd expect, for Manchester City, he was rising very rapidly. Foden started getting first team minutes by the time he was 16 years old, and those minutes just kept on increasing. By 2019, he was a regular feature. And this is when I would say the majority of the Foden detractors started showing up. I would say a lot of it started with this.
Foden is the most talented player I've ever seen in my career as a football player and manager. He has everything to become one of the best players, not just in England.
Guardiola is always overhyping his players, it's just what he does, and the media just eats it all up. What did they expect him to say? I hate my team? No. But Phil Foden has gotten hate for several reasons over the years, and I think a lot of it doesn't have anything to do with him or anything that he's done, more so to do with the establishment that he plays for. For countless football fans, Manchester City is everything wrong with football in the modern age. or at the very least since 2008. On top of that, they are pioneers of an ownership structure that is moving football in a direction that many fans don't really like. Again, these aren't exactly my opinions, but I'm pretty sure you've all heard these words being thrown around in one form or another. As a result of this, Manchester City have pretty much built up all of their success around a collection of foreign players and backroom staff, much like every other Premier League team really. But the thing about Manchester City, in the Abu Dhabi era at the very least, up until about Phil Foden, they didn't really have any homegrown players make their way to the first team and stay there. They were just buying the best talent. Even to this very day, the only other City graduate that looks like he may have some staying power is Rico Lewis, and he looks really good, but he's only in his second season or so. We'll just have to give him some time. If you count Eric Garcia, he never stayed in for too long, plus he started off at La Masia anyway. Adding yet another layer to the doubt, there seems to be this opinion around Man City that you can just stick any decent or half-decent player in there and they will succeed. Now, I think a lot of the people that hold that opinion have never heard of the likes of Samir Nasri or Calvin Phillips, for example. Both players that were more than decent, but could never succeed in Pep Guardiola's Man City. The point I'm trying to make here is that early on, when Manchester City were pushing him to be the local face of the club, many people were rejecting the idea. To summarize the argument, people were of the opinion that 1. City weren't capable of producing homegrown talent that was of the same ilk of the world-class players that they would usually pay the big bucks for. Therefore, 2. Foden wasn't really that good, and 3. If he looked good at any point, it was because of his teammates. It might be the haircut too, but you didn't hear that from me. Fast forward to today, Phil Foden has played 6 full seasons of professional football so far. Of those, he's been part of the team that's won 5 Premier League titles. You don't get there and stay there for nothing. We all know how high the standards that Guardiola sets for his teams are. I'd say he's proven the doubters wrong, especially this season. With 21 goals and 10 assists in all competitions so far, he's having the best season to date and having fun while doing it. It goes without saying that the reason he's so good and had this longevity is because he's so good at so many things. Versatility and being able to play across the front line as well as the midfield is something that Guardiola searches for in advanced players after all. In this season alone, he started off in no less than 5 positions for Man City, based on the team's needs, formations, tactics, and whatnot. He scored in every single one of those positions and roles too. Maintaining this amount of excellence during a time where Man City are going through some inconsistency, some instability, it really speaks volumes for how much this guy's developing. And even though he spent the majority of his career with Man City on the right flank, his 2 hat-tricks for City this year have come against Brentford and most recently Aston Villa, while playing as a left winger and as an attacking midfielder, respectively. The match against Brentford really solidified how red-hot his form is and how influential he is for the team now. This was Kevin De Bruyne's first match back from injury, his first full match back from injury, and Foden was placed on the left wing, a position which I think is his least favorite across the front line. He remained Man City's main man regardless. 3 supreme goals that were great for different reasons. Anticipation to be first to a dropping ball in the box for the first, a good glancing header for the second, and quick interplay for the third. Nobody will ever replace Kevin De Bruyne, it's just impossible at this point, but slowly but surely, I think we're going to see Foden moving into that central attacking midfielder role. It does come naturally to him, after all. As was expected this season with the absences of Kevin De Bruyne for large portions and Gundogan and Mahrez leaving, Man City have lost some of the chief operators of control in their team and have become a quicker side to watch in their build-up play. Controlling the tempo of the attack is something that comes with insane mastery, and I'm sure Guardiola's been working with Foden on that for a while. We're seeing him improve in real time, game by game. Foden attacks spaces just as well as the aforementioned players, and he also holds on to the ball a lot longer than them too. I don't have the stats to back this one up, but it's something I've noticed. There are so many examples of this guy exploiting spaces behind stiff defenses really well, but I want to just highlight one of my favorite sequences that came against Sheffield United on New Year's Eve. It's pretty much just as much a Foden highlight as it is an Oscar Bob highlight, honestly. Foden glides into the box unattached. Bob plays a sleek ball in, and Foden slides it through to Alvarez to make the game 2-0 and shut up shop. It's a pretty simple and effective sequence, and I know what you're saying. This happens in every single Man City match. You're right. No argument there. And just going back to the argument that he's just a cog in the machine and he wouldn't survive in another team, that's a non-argument in my opinion, because you could say that about any player without having seen them in another team yet. Does Jane from accounting not have a chance at another firm because she's only worked at one place since college?
And here he is again. Here he is again. That's astonishing.
I thought not. So if Foden is so good, will he have a shot of winning the Player of the Year? At this point, we all know that the Player of the Year awards and the biggest individual awards are going to go the way of Manchester City, Arsenal, or Liverpool. The ultimate winner of the league will gain preference, but winning the league doesn't always guarantee that one of your players is going to win those awards. 13 out of the 31 Football Writers Association Player of the Year awards have gone to non-winning teams in the past. Heck, Scott Parker won it in 2011 after getting relegated with West Ham. I mean, he was great that year, but it was still a strange one. Having said that, we can pretty much take out of the equation the players that are doing really, really well on other incredible teams. Players like Ollie Watkins, Dominic Solanke, Cole Palmer, all great, but I don't think they have much of a chance. If Arsenal win the Premier League, then the Player of the Year award will go to one of William Saliba, Declan Rice, or maybe Martin Odegaard. Take your pick on who you think Arsenal's Player of the Year will be. I think it's Declan Rice in my personal opinion, but that's just me. If Liverpool win, it will go to one of Mohamed Salah or Virgil van Dijk. And if Man City win, it will go to either Rodri or Phil Foden, in my opinion. But back to Phil Foden, like I've said, there are other players that are deserving too, but I wouldn't be surprised or mad if he came away with the biggest awards at the end of the season. He's been unbelievably consistent all year, and every time I watch him, I come away feeling impressed. Just the way that he stepped up this year, given the circumstances, is really commendable. Realistically, at the end of the day, I don't know how much it would matter though, because he is only 23. It's quite a crazy prospect to think that he probably hasn't hit anywhere close to his prime at Man City. Of course, that's assuming that he stays at Man City well into his prime, which, I mean, why would he leave? And just some last words on the England front. I think he obviously has to start in the Euros, but I do recognize how much of a headache it is to compile the right, configuration of players together for this one. Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Phil Foden, James Maddison, even Kobe Mainoo. There is so much talent there that I just know England are going to lose in very extravagant fashion. Rice, Bellingham, and Foden as the most advanced would likely do the most damage if they maintain discipline. It's a nice hypothetical. But it's only a hypothetical because we all know Henderson is getting in there somehow. It is what it is. And there we have it. Let me know what you guys think about Phil Foden, Man City, the Player of the Year race, and everything in between. Feel free to leave all your thoughts below. Am I right? Am I crazy? Am I onto something? You guys let me know. That's all for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're having a great day. Cheers, and I will catch you in the next one.